This is Jodi Harrison Bauer, and welcome to Fearlessly Authentic with my guest, MaryEllen Beaudreault, who we spoke back in February uh, before any of COVID was really in our vocabulary. And MaryEllen is the owner of two franchises called Elements Massage. And I wanted to talk to you, MaryEllen, today about what is going on with your business, what's going on in your life, everything, what is going on?
Well, like everyone, life has changed quite dramatically since the last time we spoke. On the personal front, what's now become important in all of our lives is family, most importantly, and love. And I
Yes.
am reconnected with an old boyfriend. And so quarantine has been fun. And
I love that.
for
I
me,
love that. People
I
need to
mean,
know that it could be fun and that it doesn't have to be all misery, right?
no, and we've just, we've embraced this period of time to reconnect and
Mhm.
do things that we enjoy together, hiking, cooking,
So
little
nice.
tequila every now and then. It's been
Yeah.
really fun.
That's
And,
so nice to hear.
and it helps relieve the anxiety and stress of my businesses, right?
Right.
So we are going to be closed close to 3 months
Wow.
on two places. And so
What was your actual close date? I think ours was around the same time.
March 17th, last
Okay,
day.
yeah, they closed my studio on March 16th.
Yeah, so today is May 18th, and so it's 2 months, but we know, both being in Connecticut, that
Mhm.
we're being phased in. And what we don't know is what phase we're in,
Correct.
which is very frustrating as a business owner. So I've been sort of I've become a lobbyist, and
Mhm.
I'm thinking of changing Democratic Party to Republican, quite honestly. Just kidding on that, but it is the Republican states that are opening, and I just think it's time for us to open.
Well, I know it's very hard to have this discussion as a small business owner without it getting a little bit political. And we don't want to get political. So I understand. I totally hear what you're saying because I feel the same way you do. And I think a lot of small business owners do feel that way. Let us open. Tell us what it is that we need to open up safely. We know to wear masks now. We know to wash our hands. We've been knowing to wash our hands since we were little kids, but the new normal has shifted. So we've had to pivot in our businesses and come up with more creative ways to, keep people healthy. And, you've been to my business as a boutique fitness studio. I've been to yours as a place where I can relax and get massage. And, that's for the mind, body, and soul. And I think what a lot of the people who are making the decisions don't understand where this is for how it benefits us mentally and physically. And so why don't you expand on that whole, you
Yeah.
sort of touched
We
upon that lobbyist part.
Yeah, so we're totally simpatico with you in terms of the mind body and how important it is, and particularly now. And if we haven't learned that through quarantine, that it's, you need to build your immune and system and stay healthy and
Right.
exercise. So hopefully people have gotten that message. But on the lobbying front, I've been involved on every one of these legislative calls. In fact, I just got off one and was basically saying, is the state prepared for class action lawsuits for not allowing businesses to open that ultimately may fail? I'm not worried
Mhm.
about my business failing, but I think it's a real fear out there. And
It
they need
is.
to, at least, how do we plan as small business owners for our businesses when we don't even know when we're going to be allowed to reopen? I mean,
That is a fear. And, I talk about being fearlessly authentic. And I asked you to be on the show before because I do believe you are fearlessly authentic and you're living in your truth. And so I don't know. We don't know the answers. And part of fear is not the uncertainty, the not knowing. And that's what causes fear. And I think that's why so many people feel that way. So you mentioned that you and your new man are hiking and working out and staying active and eating healthy. And yeah, a little tequila helps every once in a while. Let's be real here. Okay. So lobbying, have you done anything else, or what are your plans to when they do say, let's say we can open in June? What have you done to pivot? Like, what's been your mindset to keep you aside from the activity levels that you've been having and, the new love in your life, the reunited love that's helped keep you positive, what else as a business owner, as a woman, have you done to pivot?
Yeah. So, my business is a service business, and it's not one that we can, go to someone's house. I mean, it's people coming to
Right.
us. It's exclusively massage. So what's been critically important for me as a business owner has been to stay in touch with my team. I employ like 30 people,
Hmm.
and my goal is to bring them all back. And I'm just, I do a regular Zoom call with them every week. I want to tap into them to make sure that they're staying healthy and where's their
Right.
mental state. And let them know I'm thinking about them and what we're going to do as a business. We've made, we've obviously we're all going to change the way we do business a little bit with our
Right.
masks and our hand sanitizer, et cetera. But to keep engaged with my team during this time has been critically important. And I can't, for me, gift cards would be great, but it's not gonna make, mine is a volume business on
Hmm.
the weekends, trying to get people in to
Right.
take care of themselves. So it's really all been about my team, and then accessing what's been available to me in terms of capital from the government, federal, state, whatever. So I have gotten the PPP money. I've
Hmm.
gotten, state of Connecticut
So you've
bridge loan.
been it sounds like you've been very, very proactive, which doesn't surprise me at all. So I think the other thing you touched upon was staying in touch with your team. My team is a little bit smaller, and the same thing, staying in touch with them. How are you doing? How's the family? Where is their mindset? And I think it's really important I read somewhere that who your real friends are during a time like this, that the people you've been in touch with, and especially, if people who work for us know that we, as the owner of the business, care about them. This isn't caring necessarily about the business per se, but caring because we do really care. And I think that comes out. And that's why you and I align so well, because we really do care about the people and our clients who come to us. We want them to feel well. That's why we opened up these kinds of businesses.
Yeah, and communicating with our clients and letting them know where we
Yes.
are and what we're working on, and posting more to our Facebook page about self-care at home, those kind of ideas to try to stay connected with your clients,
Right.
so that they know that we're still thinking about them and that we're going to be here when they want to come back. And we actually have heard from clients who are like, "We think you're an essential business, and
I
we
know,
we
me
don't
too,
want
me
you to
too. I know we
stop."
are essential. We do believe we're essential. So we
Yeah,
need to talk about that lobbying thing afterwards. So, because I want to touch base with you, because there's another person in our life who keeps texting me about that. And you know who she is.
yeah, yeah. I know who
And
she is.
so thank you. So what would you, for a woman or a man, it doesn't make a difference, for a small business owner, what top 3 things would you say has kept you staying positive and motivated to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, so I think just number one has been the culture that I created in my studios is
Hmm.
very important to me in terms of how I've treated my people. So this idea of staying in touch with them has always been number one. Like I started Zoom calls the first week that we were closed to
Yep.
tap in and say, how are you guys doing? So that's been important. The other thing is, it's my job and employing so many people and having 2 locations that I am on top of all the legislation. So I
Right.
need to know what's available to me to be able to reopen strong with a bunch of liquidity that will allow me to bring all my people back. So, spending time doing that as well. And then, lead by example, right? Stay positive
Love that.
myself, right?
Yes.
Every time I'm on a call, I'm like, hey, what have you guys done this week? I went hiking, I went biking, I went for a run. Like, what are you guys doing? Let's share, just so they'll come back a little bit healthier than when they left,
Yes, I
maybe.
love that. I think that's really, really, really good advice, because what we show them, it's like when we raised our kids, they learn by watching. It's our actions. So if they see that Mary Ellen or Jody is down in the dumps or sad or, not thinking positively, they're going to think the same way. Woe is me. And it's not a woe is me world. You make what you want of it. And I think that my husband actually said this at the very beginning. This is going to separate, he did say, the man from the boys.
Oh,
But I said, come on, it's the women from the girls.
yeah.
Let's keep it straight. What haven't I taught you yet?
Yeah, right.
So, in I know we're going to open up soon. I feel very positive about it. I know that you are a smart businesswoman, and everybody will be listening to your story prior to listening to this, because we didn't even talk about COVID. I think it was the last week in February when we had the initial interview.
Yeah, it wasn't even on our radar
It
screen.
wasn't even on our radar. I know I was thinking about that when I was getting dressed to talk to you, because I don't stay in my pajamas all day. I do work out.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, what does fearlessly authentic mean to you?
So it just means what I think what you say all the time, which is, be yourself, lead by example, and live the life that you want to lead. Right? It's up to
Mm-hmm.
me to be
It is.
happy. It's not up to anyone else. You make your own happiness. Your you know your drive. I've been working since I've been 14. So, that drive has always been in me to continue to succeed. But I think just live your truth. Isn't that what you say, Jean?
Yeah, I do. I say stand in your truth,
Stand in.
and because we all do deserve to live the life that we desire and deserve, because what else were we put here for? We need to have fulfilling and adventurous and happy and loving lives and relationships. And the relationships you have with your significant other, with your friends, with your team, those are important relationships to nurture now more
My
than ever.
boys, you have two girls and I have two
Yes.
boys, and nothing's more important to me than them. They are always at the top of my list, like your girls are at
Yes.
the top of yours. And I'm so happy to I'm going to New York City tomorrow to
Are you
celebrate
really?
the NYU graduate virtually, but we're going to get together as a
Oh,
family and we're going to do it because that's all we have, and you just make the
I
best of
know.
it, right?
It's so hard. I told my daughter, she's in New Jersey right now. And, I said, I need to come and see you. My other daughter's in Miami. And I miss them. I really miss them. My Florida daughter, I probably wouldn't see very much anyway, on a regular basis. But New York, you and I are always going into New York.
I know.
So much has changed, but it's good to see you looking beautiful and positive and smart and motivated all the time. And this this show is for women and men to be inspired, to empower them, to know that they have it within themselves to create that life that you just talked about.
Yeah.
And it's
So
just deep.
yeah, it's just, buying my own house this year had put me in a whole new space. Like that is very empowering to
Tell
have
me,
built
tell
these.
me about that.
So it took me I've been in this. I started my businesses about 5.5 years ago, and no one would give you a mortgage when you're a small business owner. It doesn't matter
Right.
how much money you have in the bank. It's just
Right.
like unless I wanted to pay cash for my house, which I didn't. But so to buy that was sort of like it was very empowering to me to know that I had started these businesses. I built them. They were becoming successful enough for me to go out and live my life, myself. And not that I wanted to do it alone, but I did. And
Right.
then, it feels really good. And I feel like I've made it. It's
Well,
not $1 million a year, but I live a nice life, and and I love what I do, and I love my people. I mean, what you can ask for more than that, right?
well, it's interesting that you say that, because we both had we were both married and divorced, and we both had a certain life and lifestyle. And as we become women of a certain age, and let's just say we're, you know, older. I mean, our kids are in their 20s and 30s. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. And I feel like we're turning the clock backwards, like, Benjamin Button, like we feel like we're 30. And so age is not a factor. But it's having this zest for life and knowing that there's so much, and believing that, hey, it's not about the things. It's about how you're being loved, what you're giving to others. It's what you don't have, you don't need, is what
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are realizing right now. And the
exactly.
fact that you felt that, hey, I can buy my own home right now. I love my home. This is mine. It is such an empowering feeling that this is yours. This business is yours, and you are going to survive this.
Oh yeah, we are. We're going to open strong. I mean, I have the liquidity, so it's going to be great. I want to. It's going to be like a grand reopening. We've
I
been
love
closed
it.
so
I
long.
love it. I'm so happy for you. And I have no doubt it's going to be amazing when we do indeed open. So we'll talk about that lobbying thing when we get off later. Um, but thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on life. And I'm happy to hear about your personal life being
Yeah,
so
thank you.
happy and looking forward to getting a massage. I really need one.
I know. In the world, we're all anxiety driven. So,
We all need
all
that.
right.
So thank you for being on Fearlessly Authentic on Voice America. And I will talk to you soon. Everybody take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.